And we're live. And look who's here.
And we're live.
Right from the start.
Hello. How you going? The good peeps. How you doing? I'm from the start here.
Yes.
With no teeth in.
Yes, if you hadn't noticed.
Because, why would you have teeth when you could I'm just making shit up now as I go along.
That's fine.
Yes, that's something I've had to do for a couple of days. Because, right, okay, I'm just fucking going to start this now.
Okay,
because we're
here.
Right, so what happened was a couple of days ago, Angry's gone, let's go and do a broadcast, and I've gone, yeah, man, let's do that. And he's going to say, yeah, all good. And I'm going, well, there are issues. I might have picked up a massive infection. And the Angry's giving it a bit of, how long has this been going on? I'm going, day. And Angry's giving it a bit of, what's Boss the House think? I'm going, Boss the House is giving it the whole doctor's a good thing. So then I said, I don't think I can do the live stream tonight, which, Angry is very kind enough to go, yeah, no, okay, cough. And Angry said things about, doctors and stuff. And I'm going, yeah, good. And then Boss of the House has gone, oh, you look real bad. I'm calling off the doctor, and the doctor is coming here and making you on unsick. And doctor shows up and goes, yeah, dude, yeah.
Not good.
This is not a thing. You should really think about going to the hospital. And going, yeah, I will think on that. And I thought on it. And finally, the next day, Jason thoughts are finished now. There will be a phoning of an ambulance. And the ambulance will come and take thee to a place of sickening unness. And I've gone, oh, that's the Sucksaw's thing. We've been avoiding that. And then, the ambulance turns up like a couple of hours, and that was cool. What was it going to be? And they said, oh, you should get in a cab. And I went, no, fuck that. And then the ambulance turns up and gives it a bit of, oh, yeah, you're not good. And I get into the hospital and they go, oh, dude, you're not good. How long has this been going on? I'm going on, 3 days. And they're going, oh, 3 days is not a thing. Maybe overnight was a thing. 3 days is not a thing. And I'm going, oh, yeah, don't give it Boss of the House was right about anything. That will be bad. And they went, well, we will now punish you by putting a catheter in you, in your penis hole, and that
up the pee hole.
Good viewers, is surprisingly painful. It's not surprising. There's no surprise there. It's just painful. The surprise is not there. Already pain affected part being extra pained. Not a thing. And then they said, we've got to check your prostate. And I've gone, oh, no, that's not a thing either. Yeah. And then they've gone, yoink. And I've gone, okay. Oh, all of those things I said about my gay brothers, I take all of them back. And anyway.
Take it like a man.
Yeah. Take it like a man. And essentially, I've gone, all right, okay, good. That's your prostate exam done. Now for the next, I think it's 4 years now. So I'm going, yes. And then going, no, we're going to give you another one tonight. And I'm going, no, check your files. We've already had one, and it was bad. Yeah. I'm like, no, going to have another shot. And I'm going, oh, this just doesn't get any better. And it didn't. Second time round was, just as bad. And I'm going, why are we doing this twice? Why are we doing
Yeah.
this twice?
Yeah.
And then they said, do you want more drugs? And I'm going, yes, I do.
Yes.
I require them.
Yeah.
And I will vouchsafe to have them off of you. Thank you, kind nurse person. And the kind nurse persons didn't even bother giving it a bit of, you're not a bit allowed to have this much drugs over this much time. They're going, no, fucking feel free to have a shitload of drugs. And still going and going, yeah, okay, more straight up the arm. And I'm going, thanks for that. And then, righto, now we're tiptoeing around the morph and the endone. We've worked out that we can come back every hour. You're going to handle? And I'm going to try. And they went, right. What else? And I went, well, I haven't actually, because I've decided not to take anything that might complicate anything. So they said, all of your you haven't had any benzos for like 2-3 days. And I'm going, yes, that's right. And I went, yeah, I'm going to sort some of that out too. So they were very good about it. But it was very bad.
Okay.
And I was going, yeah, across the house and angry, you're just going to go, told you.
Yeah.
And give it a lot of that. And I'm going to go, no. No. I was cruelly used. Cruelly used in an uncaring world to basically bring about change. Not in me. Apparently, the antibiotics are going to bring it out the change when they're looking for. But yeah, awkward evening.
Yeah.
And so much so that didn't actually get any sleep. I have had 3 hours sleep in the last 2 days and 3 days, and I got a cab home this morning whilst I was in the Cronkin house. I didn't know that Melbourne had like record flood. I wasn't around for that. I was in a emergency cubicle, and then in the short stay unit. Fuck, I was hoping it was the shortest stay on earth. And while I was in the emergency cubicle, there were 4 prisoners brought in. And there was some kind of gang-related fracas went down. And there was apparently over meth inside the prison. It was all very But there were people, it was very, very busy. And people were smashing and banging against the walls because they weren't getting enough attention. Now, the strange part was that usually when I go into a hospital arrangement, they go, well, we can give you a little tiny bit of pain relief, but that's it. And, you're not getting another one till Friday on Wednesday. And no, not last night. Fucking everyone was like, oh, nurse, can I have a yep? Sure you can. And like, all the junkies and the prisoners and, my peeps, my people.
Yeah, your brethren.
All the junkies and the prisoners are going, yeah, nurse, can I have some more pain relief? And they're going, yes, you can. And so they're just like throwing it over the counter, and I'm going, fine. I get into a fairly class 1 situation again, because they said to me, oh, look, you've rang the ambulance, because Foster House said I had to, and the ambulance is going to be there like between 2 and 4 hours. And going, oh, shit happens. And then there's the wait when you get to the hospital, and I'm going, oh, shit happens. Anyway, I before I get into the hospital, and the wait was approximately 5 minutes. And the treatment was approximately 15 minutes. The treatment was catheterization. And I'm thinking, hopefully, they're going to numb the area because otherwise this is going to be a screaming shit show. no
Yeah.
numbing of the area.
Oh gosh.
So screaming shit show.
Yeah.
And if you've ever seen someone try to crawl backwards up a wall,
Yeah.
that's me.
That was you?
Yeah, I look like something out of a Ridley film at this point. Going, oh
Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. It's my no square. Um,
Yeah.
don't touch me on my no square. And anyway, yeah, so it just sucked really. And so this morning I get a cab home. I forget, fuck it, I'm not just getting a tram home. That's dumb.
Yeah.
And the nurses are saying, yeah, like it could be a bit hectic because it's flooded, and you know, we've got like 15% of our people can't get in. And I'm going, that's a
Yeah.
bit fucking extreme for a hospital.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, full on. Of course, I was blissfully unaware of all of this, being inside,
Yeah.
listening to screams and threats of my peeps. And
Yes.
I get outside, and they say, "Oh, call a cab from the phone, and it'll turn up and just jump in it." So I do that. Not my cab turns up, and I go, "Is this my cab?" And they went, "Sure, jump in." I'm going, "Yep, I'm that guy."
Yeah.
And so in we go. We get, I don't know, a third of the way home, and
Right.
then the cab driver goes, "Oh, the cameras don't work in the cab, so I've got to take you back to where I picked you up, and get you another one, or I can drop you out here, call you one, and I'll meet you here." And I'm going, "Yeah, let's do that," because I'm feverish this whole time.
Yes.
Anyway, so I'm like really hot, and I'm going, "Okay, I can't be inside, and I can't go back there.
Yeah.
I've got to go, continue motoring home." And
Yeah.
yeah, it took half an hour for the cab to turn up, and took half an hour for us to
Ooh.
get from halfway from St Vinny's to here, which is not a very long distance.
Right.
Good viewers, but it was, yeah, it was a rolling tumble of, yeah, maybe AZ shouldn't have gone in. Then I was thinking, nah, AZ had to go in. There was
Oh
no
yeah. Oh
question.
yeah.
This was really
Oh
starting to
yeah.
be a thing, and it sort of white knuckled it for 1 or 2 nights, but then um, yeah, last night it was like, no. No, mate,
No?
not gonna happen. And boss of the house was just going, no, man. Yeah, yeah, you look like shit, and you're clearly sweating.
Yes.
In a 16-degree environment. So yeah, this is a sign for us. And the
Yeah.
Ambos turned up, and they're going, "Oh yeah, here we go again." Yeah, and they all
Mm.
had a chat about how tiny little flats are. Yeah, and then they look at me and go, "Ooh, okay,
Look
yeah,
at this
you're coming in." Yeah, and I'm going, "Yeah, all right." Uh, and then they were
nice.
supposed to take me to my favourite RMH, but they didn't. No,
Uh-huh.
they were closed, and I had to go to
Ah,
Vinnie's instead. And they
ah.
said, "Oh, do you want to, force the wait?" And I've gone, "No, yeah." And they went, "No, we're taking you to Vinnie's." And I'm going, "Okay." And then the magic started, and it's magic that I don't want to repeat
No,
for
I can
quite a while.
imagine that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, and yeah, so that was where I wasn't on
Yes,
Tuesday.
yes. So for
Um,
those who were here on Tuesday and wondered, "Where's
mm,
AZ?" That is a potted history of the last couple of days
mm.
of AZ's life, and it started, well, at least I became aware of it on Tuesday. So,
You did indeed.
when I got this
Uh,
talking.
yeah, we were chatting across a text line, and I was in a compromising seated
Yeah,
position,
yeah, yeah. It was
and I
sounding
just
all
thought,
kinds of not good. Yeah.
well, I just thought, oh yeah, come on, we'll take it on. And I just went, no, it's not going to happen, man. Um,
I'm always
and
discretion's
I
the
uh,
best part of valor, but
I
yeah.
might also say that this evening I might very well go, no, I've had enough now. I want to crawl
Um,
home to bed.
which is perfectly acceptable. Absolutely acceptable.
So that may very well happen.
Haven't said any official hellos either. I was gonna say hello
No,
to Justin
I had just
and
finished off, and I was going to say, heil to these.
yeah. So hi
Hail
to
to thee.
Justin and Luke and Lion Spider and Mitchell. Hello, people who've popped up in chat. There's a few other people watching, but they haven't popped up in chat. But yeah, we're off and running. So in the last couple of days, have you been able to take in the world around you and the news media at all, or have you been preoccupied with things?
No. The first news media I got was basically when I fired up my phone, and it dribbled a couple of ideas at me, and I'm going, "What the f- is this?" And then this morning, the nurses are giving it, flood, not cool. And then they were talking about toilet paper. Everyone's talking about toilet paper this and toilet paper that. And I'm going, yeah, all right, good, yeah, good. And
I'm
then
showing off.
good. Ha ha
Look at
ha! Look at
that.
that. Look at that.
I
It's
went to
because of
Costco the
people
day
like
before
you.
everyone started panicking.
Yeah. It's because of people like you, the people like me.
See, that's the thing. It's like I'm laughing at these people. There are all these ridiculous photos of lunatics being in Woolies with their trolley with 20 packets of toilet paper on them. They're fucking morons. But I've got as much toilet paper as them. But that's only one packet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair. I was going to say,
the smallest amount.
I've seen you shop, and that's
Yeah.
kind of the sort of standard of your shopping. You know, when the angry man cometh consuming, he cometh with an iron chariot.
Yeah. So we go to
and I've been
Costco,
that
and a single pack of toilet paper is 48 rolls. So
so you look like one of those bastard hoarders. It's because of you that people like Aidsy can't poop in peace.
apparently, even at Costco, a couple days after I was there, people started panicking. I was there on Saturday. I was just in the area to shop for something else, and I thought I'm going to get a few things from Costco. There are slight rumors people are being stupid. I will just grab one of the things of toilet paper while I'm here. No one at Costco on Saturday seemed to be going insane. It didn't seem to be that different from normal. But by Sunday night, everyone had lost their bloody minds. And things like toilet paper, which I seriously don't understand. I don't know why people thought the toilet paper supply was going to be compromised. But also some dry goods like pasta and flour, and because that lasts a long time, so that's got something going for it. And I think they're starting to deplete things like tinned fruit and veg. Of course, hand sanitizer disappeared in a heartbeat.
Well, I got told by boss of the house when I was going to my daily visit to the pharmacy to involve myself in my daily duties. To pick up a bottle of the sanitizer. I went, yeah, sure, good work. So I've gone. I was about to call his name, and I said, "Hey, boss of the pharmacy guy, your hand sanitizer. Where's that at now?" And he's gone, "Yeah, no, man, gone,
Got
buddy."
none.
And then he's called me back and said, "Aidsy, there's some up the front now."
Yes,
He's gone now, and I've gone, "That's odd." So I've gone up and I've gone, "Oh yeah, employee person." Oh yeah, right, yeah, big bottle will be good. Can I grab two? And he's gone, wait a minute. And he's gone, boss of the pharmacy, can you have two? And he's gone, no, just one has. And I hear later through boss of the house that apparently he was going to let me have the two, but there were too many people looking.
All right. Yeah.
Why did he get two? And he's clearly a junkie.
Yeah.
You can tell from his lack of teeth. Well, I had a lack of teeth basically because quick tip: don't take your teeth to hospital.
Well, there's that whole sort of semi-cancerous infection you had that was eating your jaw and teeth.
There is that. But no, don't take your take as little to hospital as you can get away with, right? I have left my charger and a USB plug in the hospital. That's gone.
Oh, yeah.
But we're living in a world of bloody consumer electronics cost bugger all. As I'm carefully guarding my stockpiles of toilet paper, they're throwing charges at me. Have a charger, 15 cents, or
Yeah.
half of a roll of your toilet paper, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
A shrewd businessman, ye. But
Yeah.
none of my roll of crap shall you have. Then no charging for ye.
Yeah. Yeah. I know
There's always that. Go on.
Sorry, Toriana's got all the toilet paper news. There was, in one Woolies, some woman pulled a knife on someone.
Oh,
in the
be fucked.
Fight broke out in Tamworth, and the guy who punched another customer and a staff member got tased by the cops over toilet paper.
Oh, be
And
fucked.
the weirdest one, a truck carrying precious life-saving toilet paper caught on fire, burnt up all the toilet paper. That's like God's judgment on us. I know, right? What are the odds? I don't remember.
I know what's going on there. Zippity zap. Yeah,
I don't remember
like the Chinese
story
coming in now. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I just, I was saying to one of my healthcare providers today, I was actually trying to avoid going to the hospital because every man and his fucking dog was going to be freaking out about COVID-19. And I was going, fuck's sake, use the bed for someone who needs it, not me. And it became, you need it.
You need it, yes.
And I was just going, I might have left a little late. And I went, yeah, you left a little late. And I was saying that, and I was saying, don't worry. And I said, yeah, look, and they said it's not coronavirus. So I said, oh no, shit, it'd have to have had to have its boots on in China a long fucking time ago to get me. And there's just no physical way it could. Was just no physical, real way it could happen. Not with the people I've been around who are nice people.
You haven't been interacting with enough people to.
Well, I haven't been interacting with people of a different race. I can tell you that much right now.
Yeah. I just want to use my toilet paper to show it off. You fucking weak trolls with no toilet paper. That's only half my toilet. Actually, that's about 2/3 of my toilet paper.
I'll have to go cap in hand to Angry's place. Please, sir.
Get what you say there, as long as it's cap in hand. So there's no other evidence in hand. I need toilet paper. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
None of that.
Well, yeah. So,
yes.
At a time when I will be needing toilet paper, everyone's lost their fucking minds. So they've been putting rushes of things. Who's driving it? Who's ramping up the fear? Is it just Trump generally, or is Australian media giving it
going wrong?
Hey?
Trump keeps saying nothing's going wrong. No, it was Australian media. I saw someone sent me a message like, oh, it might have been Luke who said, I'm not sure. Sent me a Facebook message saying, oh God, Channel 7 just said in a news story that you should stock up on stuff.
Oh,
within hours, people had fucking panicked. That was on Sunday.
Nice work, Seven.
People had started to realize shit's about to get real, and shit's about to stay real for 6, 12, maybe even 18 months. And if enough people get sick, supply chains could be disrupted. And sensible people saying, look, it's there's nothing to worry about, but there's no harm in next time you go shopping, pick up 1 or 2 extra long life things you're going to eat anyway. Maybe an extra packet of pasta, maybe an extra tin or 2 of fruit or veg. And it's just in the cupboard.
Grab.
Just pick 1 or 2 extra things up, and for some god unknown reason, people decided toilet paper was precious as gold, and they fucking went mental. By Sunday night, the lunacy had taken hold.
Right.
Apparently, it happened quicker in like the cities and suburbs than in like outer suburbs and country towns. But
Yeah.
then people, it's a sort of vicious feedback cycle in that someone says you better stock up. Some idiot takes too much. Someone else sees they're taking too much and they take it. Then the media report people are emptying the shelves. Then the people who were sensible go, fuck me, and go and grab whatever they can. And as a number of people have pointed out, this is a very bad thing to do to the most vulnerable people who only have enough disposable income to do a shop once or a week, once a fortnight, and they go there and the absolute basics they need aren't there because of fuckwits.
Yeah. And I don't know, you know what surprised me while I was in the Cronkin house? Okay, so you literally got a third of the place is full of people losing their fucking minds that they've got COVID-19. They don't.
Yeah.
Okay, this woman next to me is moaning and screaming, and she's part of my community, in both ends. And the nurses are coming in and rolling their eyes, and I'm going, fuck, these guys haven't rolled their eyes at anyone screaming, give me pain relief and make it easier for me all night. This individual was like, okay. And so the nurse comes in, he's like rolling his eyes as he comes in. And this woman is freaking out and requiring pharmacy products to help her with this. Because clearly she's got coronavirus, and I'm sort of looking across, and he's like coming in and just going. Now, me and him have got a bit of a relationship because he's given me tube of death twice, and and I'm just going, oh, okay. And I'm going, look, I'm sorry to be here. And the doctor's come in and said, well, why'd you leave it? And I'm going, if every man, his dog will be here for the virus. And then I figured, leave the beef for someone who needs it. And then looking at me going, you need it. And then there's people going, I'm dying from Chinese throat AIDS. And just going, no, you're not.
You're really not.
And then, anyway, one of these, like the doctors would run off their ass, right? And I had this urologist and this doctor talking to me because they were trying to, work out what the fuck's going on with this guy. And I've described what's happening, and they say, where are you getting all these terms from? All these, terms like ureter, bladder, prostate, all kinds of pleasant things. And I'm going, I'm good at anatomy. And they're sort of looking at me like, with a little bit of side eye, and I'm going, what happened in the world where if you know stuff, that's suspicious? So okay, I would know a bit of anatomy because I've been around it for a little while now.
You've been around your own anatomy for a while?
For a while, yeah.
For a while. As people poked and prodded your anatomy.
Oh, and described it in detail, usually from the wrong end. And so I tended to find knowing a bit about what was going on in and around it was often very helpful. And so, I was just going, what the fuck? And I thought about it and I thought, it's probably because of drug seekers, diagnosing themselves. And so they were, they were pretty side-eye initially, and then they ran their tests and went, and then they done a bit of pokety poke and gone, ouch, that's going to hurt. and they think they figured out what's going on, and through it all they've gone, oh, that's going to really hurt. And then then the urologist turned up in the whole series again, and I'm going, oh, ow. And then the ward doctors turned up, and I was by this time at the short stay unit, and like I said, I was hoping for a very fucking short stay indeed, and got one. Ward doctor's gone, yeah, right, okay, so you're clearly not going to have enough drugs, so we're going to give you some more drugs, and you can go home. And I'm going,
all right,
perfect result.
score.
And yes, I have a month of antibiotics to take.
I see. That's one thing El Doctores are saying. It's like, oh, if you actually need medication, more than your usual supply would be a good idea. So they've recognized that and given you the big pack. So that's good.
Well, yes, they've done that, but also, and viewers might be shocked to learn that
I'm always shocked.
You might be shocked to learn that I am due to take methadone every morning. And when you're in a hospital setting, that takes a lot of time to sort out. You can be waiting 8 hours to get you done. Anyway, so this morning they've given it a bit of, when do you usually dose? And go, morning. No, fairly early. And they've gone, right, do you want to dose now? And I've gone, well, that would be grand. Yes, actually. And I was thinking, then I don't have to go into the pharmacy and go straight home. Yes. And I said, we'll sort that out. And I've gone, okay, just chill, because you're going to be here a while, dude. And they said, no, 15 minutes be done. And fuck me, 15 minutes, rocking and rolling. I literally didn't get through my breakfast. Sure, Indians with loaches are laughing their asses off. Well, I reckon they probably are. They just bloody sorted it out. And was going bish bosh bish, and I'm going, okay. And then they said, have a month of antibiotics. And I'm going, that's a lot of antibiotics. They go, we normally you really take a week. We want you to take a month. I'm going, okay. So but look, I people say, supply chains might shut down. Well, they won't. And remember, too, the other thing is, guys, hate to say it, we are living in a Western industrialized nation. We can actually make shit. We prefer to make Chinese stuff out of the box. We prefer to do that. But there's a reason that Guns Paper Mill is churning out smoke every day.
Yes. Apparently, Australia's centre of toilet papers in Adelaide, and they've been tasked by Scotty from marketing to basically do 24 hours a day production to satisfy demand.
Go, ScoMo. Are you stuck at home with someone for an extended period of time? Then you should stock up on KY Lube. Well, Lion Spider of Crow, I don't need to stock up on KY Lube because I have the world's Australia supply of KY Lube still coming out of various different holes of me. Not a pleasant experience.
Really. Bobo's come in late, asked what's up with AZ. Well, he's been off with an infection for a couple of days, but he's here. Sans teeth, but he's fine.
Yes. Well, fine is a bit of a stretch.
A certain value.
Not in hospital, being looked at by bank nurses going, more drugs, dude? And that's always a worry when they go, more drugs, man? And I go, yes, please. And they go, yep, coming right up. And I'm going,
so many times over the years from all your hospital stays, and you always say, can I have some, more pain relief? And it freaks you out when they say yes, because most of the time
they say, yep.
No, you dirty little drug pig, you can't have more. But if you say, please, sir, can I have some more? And they say yes, it's like, oops. That could be bad. That means they're worried.
Bad. And then like about the fourth cycle in, I'm going, this could be very bad. and they give me the unworry tablets, and then I must have gone through 5-6 cycles of drugs while I was there, and
Yeah.
I got out of here at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I was in there. I was inside at 11:30.
Mm.
Yeah, 11:30. I was inside and hooked up,
Yeah.
and crying a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that happens. Everyone cries a little bit from time to time.
I say a little bit, not a little bit. Please make the nasty man and nasty lady not stick more stuff in me.
Yes. Stuff goes out your pee hole, not in your pee hole.
Everything that's supposed to come out, I was having stuff put in. No.
Yeah.
It's God's punishment.
Signs you see on doors sometimes that says this is not an exit, and stick.
Yeah.
No, sorry, this is
not an entrance. Yeah, this is not an entrance. Midvale schools are gifted.
Yes. The trouble is, the people you had, they keep pushing.
Oh, they keep pushing. Though, happily, they found that what they thought they were looking at wasn't, which was kind of good. And then they tested for things that they thought it shouldn't have been, and it wasn't, which is good. But then they were getting more and more confused.
Yeah.
And then finally, one of the testers come back and gone, yeah, that could be an infection. And they've run down all the lists and gone, yeah, we think it is. We're going to bomb it with some antibiotics and go from there. And so they cleared me, and I was fucking joyous about it.
Okay.
And the thing that surprised me, they said, you come back at any time. And go, yeah, for that kind of service, definitely. But I came out to the media had gone nuts. This flood had happened, and then because I get my news out of social media, and I'm getting Boss of the House's Facebook feed, and I'm getting all these memes about toilet paper and bloody. Then there were angry protests about how the fuck do I get into work? Can anyone ring my boss and say, what the fuck's going on with that? And then everything gets put together for me. And this morning was a really shitty day for not just me, which is, always disappointing because I am the center of the universe. It's that simple. It's that simple. But yes, because I was insulated from it, I get to come at this from the outside and go, guys, come on. Come on, guys. It's not so bad. People don't sort of understand either that we have a massive medicine drug industry here. A lot of the vaccination for the virus, when it happens, is going to come out of Melbourne. There's a lot of patent medicines that are done very cheap. The generics made here. So, you're not going to miss out on your medicine. You're not going to miss out on bloody consumer goods. All that wheat for that pasta is grown in Western Australia. It might go over to Italy and be, mashed up there. But a lot of it's not. So, look, I can't really. I can't make this any simpler. It's just like, it's not. It's just not a thing. You're in a place where the healthcare is really, really good, and the border control
Yes.
Bloody what do they call it? Border security, is that what they call it now?
Yes, that's what they like to call it.
Yeah, border punch foreigners in the face.
Yeah.
Is what it is now. It used to be called customs.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can basically they've done it before. They can point bloody the flu temperature guns at people as they're getting off the plane, going,
Which
"Yeah,
I think
buddy."
they are actually doing that. They're doing temperature sensors.
Yeah, you pop to the left here, big guy, because
Yeah.
you look like shit, and we think you're in trouble. Yeah. Oh, are they going to send me back? Oh, we're not sending you back, mate. We're sending you straight off the hospital.
Room with no one else.
Yeah, you're going to be okay. But the other thing too is that I heard the health professionals talking. They were saying that they're getting a lot of feedback out of, especially your Asian Australian and your Asian in Australia, freaking out, going, "Oh, I'm going to be grabbed and stuck in a room to die with everyone else." And they're trying to figure out a way to tell people getting off the plane. They're going, "Yes, you are being isolated, but we're actually a bit worried about your actual health.
Yeah.
And if you come this way, you might not die."
I think what they should do is all these fuckwads they've employed, as in Musical Aviator says for Operation Border Dark Side of the Force,
Yeah.
have them in their uniforms that they like so much with megaphones saying very loudly at anyone who comes off, "We are here for your own good. Trust us when we take you off.
That's
When
right.
we bundle you into a truck, it's to look after you."
You will be looked after.
I just think
Extremely.
anyone who works for Dutton is not good at reassuring people, basically.
No.
That's not why
they're
they get
not.
the job.
No, that is not what they got the job.
Yeah.
They didn't get the job, though.
Hey, sorry, I just want to say Big Pat's been saying hello to us, Wrestling Days,
Hi,
aka.
Big Pat.
And look, we've got a thought-provoking question from Haswaner42. Insightful. Thoughts? Have you heard the ongoing experiments with using psychoactives, usually psilocybin, to treat depression? Have you read,
read
up on that?
I have looked at, read up on, and tried to take part in.
And
but you've
then
got to
there's
be
the
depressed
home
first.
trials. Yes. Sorry.
Can I have a go? No. But no, you're not. Okay. And you've got all these other drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. So I should yes, you should. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it then.
Yeah. There was a good Blind Boy podcast recently. It's the podcast that got me into podcasts. Someone I really like listening to talk. Irish comedian. The stage name Blind Boy Boat Club is with the Rubber Bandits. Yeah, stretch, buddy. Do it.
Yeah, gonna.
Blind Boy just did a tour of Australia doing live podcasts, and one of his guests, and he's actually uploaded this to his podcast, and this was just a couple of weeks ago, was an Australian researcher who's one of the frontline people with psilocybin to treat depression. And they talk for nearly an hour and a half, and it's very interesting. They explore, because, Blind Boy is fond of the recreational substances. And
I wouldn't have thought that.
No, so man who wears a shopping bag on his head likes recreational drugs. There you go. It's really interesting. They talk about all the things, and I've read a few articles recently about how around the world you've got the spectrum from lab experiments to people having healing centers where someone sits with you while you take trips, through to like ayahuasca ceremonies in South America, tribal shaman, which apparently a lot of the rich tech bros like doing. The people who make their millions in technology want to find themselves, and so they pay a fortune to go down to the Amazon and have some shaman chant over them while they do really fucking serious levels of ayahuasca.
You don't have to go down to South America.
No, of course, yeah. And my medical experiments involved rave parties in the 90s. I think I don't know if anyone older than Gen X gets it. But we used to say in the 90s, like, oh, all this rubbish about video games influencing your behavior, that's rubbish. My generation was affected by video games. We'd spend all our time in dark rooms listening to repetitive electronic music, chasing magic pills.
What's that about?
None of us doing that.
Yeah. Where did the Eckies back in my day? We were all right with it.
Yes.
That's fine.
I remember on the recreation front, there was a phase. It's like late 80s, early 90s, form of fucking probably made in a toilet LSD. I don't know how they made it. Because in the 60s it was on blotter paper. They it's liquid or it's things that and then they soak blotter paper in it, and there'd be pretty pictures on it, and you'd cut them up and you dissolve the blotter paper on your tongue. At least in Sydney, in the late 80s, early 90s, these things that were basically plastic. So what they've done is clearly put out a thin film of this liquid on a thing and dried it. So it's like these little squares of plastic. We called them clear lights. And there was a little phase where they were either red or clear, and the clear ones were stronger than the red ones. And they were like tiny, tiny little things. And I'd taken the red ones at a party, and that was good. And then someone had like the clear ones, and I'd heard these were stronger. Cutting it in half and taking one and putting the other one in my wallet, and it was just like an hour later, wow. And as I was saying to people at the party, and I was apparently entertaining quite a lot of people with my insights into the universe, they're saying, how are you going? And I'm going, I am just barely this side of a good trip. I can feel it. There's a cliff right there. And I do not want to go oh my God, if I'd have taken the other half, fuck me.
Oh, no. See, I had a similar experience. I got told only half, and I'm going, I'm a fairly hard lad. I'll probably take the whole. And a good friend has touched me on the hand of shoulder of wisdom and gone, no, Aidsy, half, and done the pointy. And I've gone, all right, I'm going, okay, I don't usually go at this. And then I halved it and went, I ended up throwing the other half away because I was fucked.
I did actually lose the other half of this one. I don't know if I randomly gave it to someone at the party or I dropped it, but I don't know.
I gave mine away. At one point, some friends came up around me, and I'm going, I don't want you to come around me. This is not a good thing. Yeah. And they've gone, are you okay, man, buddy? And I'm going, yeah, I'm just trying to be in a cool place. And I said, we will help you with that. And they basically picked me up by the belt. It's like four of them, and then taken me outside. As it was the first floor balcony. Not a wise move, but anyway, nice and cool out there. And what had happened was I was actually just pouring sweat.
Yeah, you don't want to sweat. You don't want to be
just dripping. And they've gone, he's not well. So they've taken me outside, and happily they left the babysitter on duty pretty much all through the night.
And that's what you need. You need a co-pilot in situations like that.
Well, I was very grateful to them. They said, oh, no, we're pretty much grateful to you because remember, while you were really far out there, while we had you on the balcony, you were a still point in the swirling eddy of that party. It was nice to have an anchor. And I'm going, oh, shit, because I was really... And I had hold of a pole on the balcony overlooking the street, and I had hold of it going, and it was nice and cool anyway, but I had hold of it going, I am not going to fall off this fucking balcony, and I can't fly, because I'd seen this in high school, people attempting to fly, and I'm going, nah, I'm not pulling that shit. And people have always said, if you want to fly, start from the ground. It's so much better.
Yes.
Yeah. Start flying from the ground, and I'm pretty sure an Uber driver gave me tonsillitis the other week, half of them. Oh, the other
I'd
week,
say
half
Bex.
of them.
I don't want to judge Bex, but if Uber drivers giving you tonsillitis, don't kiss as many of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a thing. But
I know.
hey, I'm not throwing stones. I'm just sorry.
I
Me.
I know I have to point the opposite way to what I think, and I
Yeah,
still get it wrong. I keep
I get it wrong all the time.
in.
Yeah, yes, angry.
I
Yeah,
did it then.
yeah. See, I do it all the time.
Oh,
And I go,
Jesus.
oh yeah, and then do that and go, oh no, that's not right. And angry's over that way.
Yeah.
That's weird because I'm just staring
Well,
off into my house.
Think
Think like a man.
like a man. From
Man.
Esquire magazine. There's an online thing called Humble Bundle where Beck's come back. Don't tell me how to live my life. Yeah,
Not
look,
me, Bex. I'm not going to do it, Bex.
no.
Not going to happen.
It's called Humble Bundle, where you can get they do these cheap things, and it raises money for charity as well. But it's like games that are a couple of years old that they'll be selling at like 75% off, and often it's PDFs of books and stuff. And they had this bundle, it's a couple months ago now, and it was cocktail books and recipe books. And this is one of the better ones. There's a couple good ones, even with a stupid title, Drink Like a Man. There's some good stuff in here from the Esquire magazine. I like it. Along with all the cocktail recipes, there's little articles like the Drinker's Manifesto. Do you want to know what the Drinker's Manifesto?
I do want to know what the Drinker's Manifesto is.
There are like, what's Jordan Peterson had 10 rules for life. The Drinker's Manifesto has 18 rules.
Oh wow!
1, drinking is fun.
Okay.
I like a good, simple start.
Yeah, we started well.
Fine. I'm fine. AD, I just say fine because the truth is horrible and complicated. So he's fine. Yeah. He's fine.
I'm good. Well, okay. Let's just say, on balance. Balance.
Yeah. I always say when people ask if you're okay, I always unless you're actually in hospital and stuff, if you're basically okay. So, no, he's okay, but like, for certain values of okay. It's like,
it's a given value of okay.
Yeah.
Nailing it. Nailing it.
Is fun. Rule 2 explains that a bit more. Drinking is everything you do while drinking, including talking, going to the John, overhearing the conversations of others. 3, craft cocktails tend to take a long time to make. It's mixology. 4, at a place that serves craft cocktails, a drinker may order a second drink before he has finished the first. This is logistics.
This is logistics and fair. I've seen it done.
Yeah. 5, bars are not temples of mixology. 6, drinkers aren't supplicants.
No.
7, although when the bartender at the Temple of Mixology puts half your Manhattan in a separate vessel and nestles that vessel in a bowl of crushed ice and places it next to your glass, that's worthy of praise. Very cold cocktails always are. I was watching one of the YouTube cocktail channels, and he was saying like he likes to just pack ice in for chilling a cocktail. He said because of the alcohol content of a cocktail, you can chill it to below 0 Celsius while it stays liquid. And he said people go, no, you can't. Things freeze at 0 Celsius. And he said, I'm going to get a fucking really good food thermometer and fucking prove it to you.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to put this to your lips and see how fucking cold it really is.
Yes. Look, speaking of which, I am going to make a cocktail in a bit, but what I'm going to do is cocktail bars who have chilled glasses usually keep them in the freezer, and mine's not. But a little trick to chill your glass even faster, rinse it with water and then put it in the freezer. So I'm going to do that, just a quick rinse.
Yep.
Glass here. And I'm going to put that in the freezer or a drink, because it probably will make you drink in a bit. Right, you go in there. Leave it in there for 10 minutes or so. So, okay, rule 7, be nice about cold cocktails. 8, however, sometimes you don't want a craft cocktail because sometimes it doesn't taste better. Sometimes it's raining and your flight is delayed and you're a couple time zones from home. and you just want the lady wearing the maroon vest behind the bar to pour some gin in a glass with some tonic, and you just want to drink it and smile and think it home. That's fair.
Yeah, I've been there before. After a gig too.
Oh yeah,
Jesus Christ, I mean, a couple of times I've gone, well, that was a shit gig. I did it. As has been said by my brothers, you can't unsuck a cock. Just fucking get on the plane and go home. The plane is not coming. You are staying here with the people you sucked in front of. Good. That's
you
good.
Need a drink.
You need a drink. And I have at one time been brought aside by a business person, and I thought, okay, he's going to try and put parts of himself into parts of me. And frankly, I'm going to fucking let him. And he's gone, mate, I've seen this look before. I thought you did a fucking good job. Sad to say there was a mob of cunts around this bar tonight. Had some of this and produced a packet of, and gone, you and I are going to have a great friendship. And we hung up all night going, yeah, this is good. This is good. Life is good. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, the planes ran again. I get off the plane to the individual I was living with at the time, and she's gone, bloody hell, big gig, and I'm gone, not really. No. Happily, they paid me. There was question as to whether that was going to fucking happen. But anyway, yes. Sometimes you just want to fucking have that drink. Please just make the night drink.
Saying having a tough comic gig. I have to show you at some point if I can get you over here. There's a comedy series called something 5. It's written and produced by the English guy who sounds Italian, Armando Iannucci. He did In the Thick of It, that thing with who swears all the time, and he did the Death of Stalin, and he does Veep in the US. He's very good at political. This is just comedy. It's like in the future, it's a space cruiser, like it's a cruise ship in space, and it goes wrong. And they're going to be stuck in space for several years because of an error, and they're not happy about it. And there's an onboard comedian who has to do a gig for an audience who thought they were out in space for a couple of weeks, and they're now stuck out there for 3.5 years. And he has to do a comedy gig. I think you'd find it really relatable, just for a hostile audience.
And you'd have to negotiate. I can only do one of these a week, a month. And yes, it will be new, and there will be 15 minutes of it. But I'm to be, I'm to be boarded in the style to which I've become accustomed, and I don't want criticism.
What's his face who does all the cruises would probably really relate to this.
He would. We're not going to. We're not going to
name and shame.
Name and shame at this point.
No. Although he has been on my channel, so it's not that shaming. But anyway, all right.
He has been on your channel.
On my channel, Young Ellsbury, but that's all right. All right. More of the Drinkers Manifesto. Number 9: a drinker should be tended to. If a bartender serving a modest crowd does not ask you if you want another drink upon finishing your drink, then that bartender is a bad bartender.
He is not a tender. He's not a bartender. He's a bar untender. He's a bar. Why are you walking away, sir? Well, you should bloody well know. Sanchez, I'm getting out of here. You're not a tender. You're nobody. And I'm got the wobbly bird on and I'm aggressive. Grrr. Let me find a police person. No, tell you another thing.
Yeah. Number 10. It's not known who supplies the restroom graffiti, but their efforts are worthy of appreciation.
Sometimes, definitely.
We went to a uni that was literally famous for its toilet graffiti. And then some fuckwad just painted the whole thing this really shitty green color.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then we would go out of our way to deface the green paint in very unimaginative way. My personal favorite when everyone retaliated against this paint was someone with a really heavy marker wrote in fucking huge letters, across a wall. So this phrase stretched for about 4 meters, and it just said, "Nice fucking color."
I remember looking at that for a couple of years going, yeah, nicely done. Nicely done.
Good.
But you're right. Okay, the tragedy of seeing the toilet graffiti just be put under seafoam green was just shocking. But it did force a reimagining of the spirit of graffiti at the time, which we found out was mean and poverty stricken. But better than nothing. Better than bubble writing. This is my name. Oh, that's sad. I always call it publishing of the desperate. Look at me. This is not my real name. I exist. Look at me. This is not my real name. I'm too afraid to put my real name here. I don't actually have anything to say, but I can say it in spray can.
Yes. That sums up taggers. I've got nothing to say, but I'm still going to say it. Yep. Anyway, number 11. A bar may not always improve the mood, and it can make it worse.
True.
12. A drink can improve the mood because it is made with alcohol, which is a drug. That's very wise. 14. Sometimes a bartender's mustache is just a mustache. Usually not, but sometimes. Depends on what kind of bar you're in. I love that one.
You and I have both got mustaches, by the way.
Just saying. Oh, yeah.
Saying.
If you see us in a bar, maybe our mustache is just a mustache. Probably not, but maybe.
See us in a bar looking at you? Yes. It's what you think it is, and it's all worse.
Type of mustache.
So much worse.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is actually probably worse than you're thinking. Yes,
much worse. Especially if it's him and me talking to one another, looking like we've been sponsored that night.
That's a bit dangerous. Yes.
Yeah. No. It's not good thoughts, and you should think about avoiding us. I think that was only fair. I think that was only fair just to say that, Angry.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely fairly warned. Be ye. That's the sea captain in of all. I think that's probably my most obscure Simpsons quote, where our generation in particular is horribly guilty of putting Simpsons quotes on everything, but millennials do it too. And my most obscure one is the one where Homer finds an all-you-can-eat seafood thing, but he literally doesn't stop eating. And the sea captain goes to throw him out, and he says, like, "I haven't had all I can eat." And the sea captain goes, "Arr, fairly warned be ye." And a couple of big guys in sailor costumes throw Homer. So it's just whenever I'm giving people warnings, I'm like, "Arr, fairly warned be ye." And almost no one gets it. It's too obscure.
Isn't that out of Melville? Isn't that part of the whale?
The sea captain's sort of based on that Moby Dick stereotype.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I figured, but I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong in the past.
I haven't read Melville, so I don't know.
I read the third part of it and went, "Fuck this! It's only for an essay, and I don't like
me Ahab." And I'm like, "Hey, you're not the boss of me."
Not only the boss of me, I don't like the Muslims after their unjust wars against American oil.
Exactly.
We had to go through the first one.
Yes, we did.
Fuck, what was the excuse for that?
No, there was actually the first one.
We
invaded Kuwait.
Stop punching up Kuwait.
There was
give us back our oil. The other thing about that is that Kuwait was known for a long time to be slant drilling, and that was part of the reason Sam was pissed off because if I drink your milkshake, and apparently Kuwait was drinking a lot of fucking milkshake,
and they were
fuck you, that's it, we've had enough, and I'm going to sell oil in euros. Oh no, you're not, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're not.
get on the road.
That was your last mistake. The Q8 thing was bad.
Yeah.
That was a fail.
Yeah.
So yes, we went through that.
Yes.
And so I'm not going to call people Ahab. I do.
No.
I like Ahabs. They're very nice.
Ahab's a good name, but yeah. All right, there's five more rules in the manifesto. Number 14. Self-medicate. Number 14.
Self-medicate.
You can chuckle at the presence of house-made bitters. We all have, but know this: the house-made bitters are terrific.
So no.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this before on the live streams that I remember one of my friends, they was, I found a bar, it's pretty good. It was a bit wanky. And I said, what was wanky about it? Oh, they had 6 different sorts of bitters behind the bar. And I'm going, I've got more than 6 sort of bitters at home.
Yeah.
I know. My God. Okay. So number 15. Look, if they're going to the trouble of making bitters, and look, they're not going to the trouble of making bitters because they don't care how your drink tastes. So it's like respect the bitters. The best bar. Respect the bitters.
Sorry.
I'm going to show you a drink a bit earlier, and I was really surprised by it. But anyway, the best bartender conversations do not involve the discussion of spirits. 17. If you get even the slightest feeling that the bartender feels he is doing you a favor by mixing you a drink, you are in the wrong bar.
Leave immediately.
And the final
immediately.
Oh yeah, the final part of the manifesto, with a few exceptions, the best bartender is a smiling bartender. It's fun.
Yes, because drinking is fun. Drinking is fun. It is a drug, therefore it is fun.
Yeah,
this is not a drug.
100 cocktails in this little thing here, and they start with the basics. They go, here's the one you should be able to make without looking at a recipe, and it's things like the old fashioned and a whiskey sour and a margarita and a whatever, Manhattan, martini, all that sorts of thing. Then they have second round. These are a bit more complex, a bit less unusual, and then it's got the third round. Okay, these are a bit more unusual, but there's still some good ones here. And I made this one on the weekend, and I was Mrs. Angry really liked it. I made it because of the name,
right?
Buster, and equal parts, 1 ounce or 1 shot, 30 mils of rye whiskey, 1 ounce absinthe, and 1 ounce vermouth, and then it says a dash of bitters, Angostura bitters, on top of that. Now, I didn't think Mrs. Angry drinks that full on. I made one for myself, and she had a taste and went, I'll have one of those. And
okay.
In fact, I made mine with bourbon, and then to see how big a difference rye made, I made hers with rye, and rye is noticeably better. But the interesting thing, because my absinthe is pretty fierce, and when I first tasted it, I hadn't put bitters in, also because it's like my blue absinthe, so it had got a really nice color. And I thought, if I put Angostura bitters in here, which is very brown, it's going to turn a sort of murky, dirty dishwater color, and it'll be less visually appealing. But I put it in, and for those who don't know why you have had bitters, the simplest explanation is bitters are to the bartender what spices are to a chef. They're not the central part of the meal, but they're an integral part of it. So yeah, if you got your cocktail, it's your spirits and your, maybe your juices and whatever's in there, but the bitters is just that little bit extra. And I don't think I've ever tasted a drink that was more affected positively by the addition of bitters than this Brain Duster. It didn't completely change the profile of it. It still sort of had this very aniseed biz happening because of the absinthe. But the bitters is an absolutely integral part of it. It's amazing. Also, I've got, just in terms of aesthetics, I've got some Peychaud's bitters, which is probably the second best known bitters after Angostura. And it's red. It's a light red, very bright red, as opposed to the brown. And so it didn't affect the color as much. So But yeah, that was a really surprising drink, the Brain Duster. And I also thought, because absinthe is so full on, I made a variation where I substituted green chartreuse, which is another very strong herbal liqueur, like 55% alcohol, but it doesn't have aniseed in it, so it doesn't have that really sort of punch you in the face licorice taste going on. And I liked it, and I gave Mrs. Angry a taste, and she just went, "No, that tastes." And I liked it because you could actually then taste the whiskey. And Mrs. Angry tasted it. No, that just tastes too much like whiskey. Give me the other one with the absinthe. And I'm like, okay. So the Brain is a winner. I was also thinking about doing a variation here. This one I've seen a few times, a Rob Roy being a hero of Scotland. And it's really just a Manhattan that substitutes Scotch for the Manhattan's usually made with rye or bourbon, American whiskies. So you make it with Scotch and it's a Rob Roy rather than a Manhattan. And I had this idea of making one called a Ned Kelly, use Irish whiskey, but use Australian vermouth that I've got.
Right.
So Ned Kelly being an Irish Australian.
Yeah.
I was thinking of inventing one, calling it a Ned Kelly, Irish whiskey and Australian vermouth. And I've got Australian bitters as well. So
do you know,
yeah,
when he died, he was wearing a green sash. Not only because, and people said, oh, it's because he was Irish. And it's like, well, yes, but it's also because a green sash is what was given out to Australians who had committed an act of heroism. So a wearer of the green sash was a hero, so on his way off to get hanged, he said, "Yes, no, we have all worn the green sash, but I've worn it as an Irishman." Oh, you can look it up, but. The Ned Kelly is indeed a cultural icon. Used to be much more cemented in Australian ideology, though these days much more controversial. Ned Kelly is much more seen more as a murderer who pretty much got hanged. Yes, the government he was fighting against was corrupt, but it was a government, and you don't have to stay there. I don't know. I remember being a primary school kid and making my own Ned Kelly hat. A box with a square cut out of it, all of the stories were were of a time, but I think the drink should be a fabulous thing. I was going to also say the simple cocktails you should just know. I'd burst my first ulcer on a screwdriver. I didn't know I had it. Had a sore tongue, and I drank this screwdriver, and of course the orange juice in it.
And the orange juice,
pow! And I'm going, oh, that really hurts. And then I thought, well, I'm going to lose all cargo here. That's all right. You've been drinking. These things happen. Go somewhere subtle and away. And I did that. And there was a lot of blood going, I could be in shit here. And so I, finished up and thought, okay, no, we're good. And then pretty much got outside and went, we're not. And then the boys rang me an ambulance, which was very nice of them, I thought.
Yes.
And that time we were supposed to spend New Year's together. Same thing happened. It wasn't a screwdriver though. It was
you shouldn't drink orange juice. It should have just been vodka. So
should have been just vodka.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't drinking back when that New Year's. I wasn't drinking at all. But yeah, these things will blow up when they blow up. I had given myself a lot of punishment though, so there you go. Yeah.
No, I wasn't when you mentioned Ned Kelly, I wasn't actually looking up the green sash thing. I just, when you made the reference to heroism, I thought, what, attempting to kill half the Victorian police force was heroism?
Yeah.
Yes, you can see that.
Yeah, exactly.
He almost did. He almost got away with derailing a train full of troopers who were come to get him, but someone warned him. But it just reminded me of my favorite Ned Kelly quote, description of the coppers. And this was in the Gerildery letter. And his language and cadence is a bit weird, and I'll try and read it so it makes sense. But this bit is one of my favorites. It's like, I have been wronged, and my mother and 4 or 5 men lagged innocent. And is my brothers and sisters and my mother not to be pitied also, who have no alternative but to put up with the brutal and cowardly conduct of a parcel of big, ugly, fat-necked, wombat-headed, big-bellied, magpie-legged, narrow-hipped, splay-footed sons of Irish bailiffs or English landlords known as officers of justice or Victorian police, who some call honest gentlemen, but I would like to know what business an honest man would have in the police, as it is an old saying, it takes a rogue to catch a rogue. That's just like, that's an angry man, an angry young man, because he was only 27 when he died.
Yeah, as an angry young man about to get necked.
Yeah,
yeah, you son are going to swing.
Yeah,
I don't want to swing, and I have issues with the people who want to kill me. Not kill, execute. Not kill, murder. Not murder, execute. I love that. The governments get to call it what they want. We're going to call it warfare.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. But aren't I not supposed to?
Was pretty convinced it was warfare.
No, you are supposed to. Warfare is you're supposed to. But isn't everyone says you're not supposed to? No. In this circumstance, the state and your religion says you're to point guns at other men and kill them.
Yeah.
So it is murder. No, it's warfare. you know, whatever the state sanctions, in we go, son.
Yeah, in the last Monty Python movie, The Meaning of Life, there's the bit where, like, their version of the movie Zulu, where they're fighting in Africa, and after a big battle, and there's dead bodies everywhere, and Eric Idles is sitting there doing a Scottish accent. He's standing there. He's got a spear sticking in him. You go, "You all right there, Sergeant?" "Oh, it's great, sir. I just fucking killed 10 men. At home, they'd hang me. Here, I'm going to get a fucking medal."
That's right. I love that line. I've always loved that line. I thought, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because you do see it in some of those guys' eyes. You go, "Oh, yeah, I know where they got you from."
Well, Trump just fucking pardoned this war criminal whose own unit in Afghanistan tried to shut him down because he was fucking insane and was just shooting civilians and posing with pictures of severed heads and shit.
Oh, and good work.
He was found guilty by a court-martial, and Trump has fucking pardoned him. And the right wing in America is calling him a hero when his own fucking unit, they were doing stuff like taking his bullets away because he was insane. He's just a
nutter. Yeah, he's murdering civilians, and after that, they tend to turn their bullets on their friends.
No one
being those friends. Yeah. Also, not cool with the civilians being shot at.
Yeah, that makes everyone less safe anyway. Yeah, that makes everyone less safe. If civilians assume the soldiers are going to shoot them, civilians start to shoot soldiers.
Well, I mean, they fucking go out there saying, we've got to stop these Taliban-style folk because they shoot civilians. And it's like, that's a good thing. And then you go out and shoot civilians. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. It makes it awkward to stay in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying, boss? So let's just not do this anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fucking can't believe, you know, I hear sometimes that they get badly advised. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But fucking, you've really got to be Trump not to work that one out for yourself, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's a special guy. He's a very special guy.
Oh my God, what he's been saying about COVID-19, he's just been, because it's crashing the economy and it is going to fucking implode the world economy. And he's sort of pinned his whole thing on, I'm good for the economy. And so he's just denying it. He's just saying, no, it'll be fine. Nothing's going to go wrong. It's not going to
be fine.
He had the medical types with him at a press conference. And they've clearly told him a couple things, like he's saying, I want to say something good. And he's going, okay, well, we've isolated the genetic makeup of it in a lab, which is the first thing we had to do. That's a breakthrough. That's good. And Trump's going, oh, so we're cured. And they go, no. So all we're going to be focusing on is treatment because we can't prevent it. We can only have effective treatment for sick people. And so Trump gives a conference and he just starts saying, oh, they've got this in the lab. We'll have a cure soon. It'll be fine. And this guy can't stand it and just steps forward and goes, what we've actually done is then human trials. So a vaccine is not going to be available for 12 to 18 months. So, and then he just goes through, why don't you talk about, the treatment stuff we were talking about? Oh, yeah, treatment. And then he would just spurt stuff out like, why doesn't normal flu medicine work? And
Christ. This is the fucking guy that owns nuclear missiles.
Yeah.
Oh,
this guy has the code for nuclear missiles. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay, that's a problem. Why doesn't the common cold cure work? Oh, fuck. Righto. Good. Not good.
By the way, I've actually set up my cocktail channels now. I haven't actually started.
Oh, cool.
I'm making some videos, so I've got a few in the bag before I start it. But Angry Cocktail will be a thing. And if this works, I might add it to the channel as an invention. So the Ned Kelly, an Irish-Australian version of a Manhattan, basically. So 2 ounces of Irish whiskey, good old Jameson's. Old Faithful. 1 ounce of this Australian vermouth, Artemis Absinthium. So yeah, this is a fairly, some vermouths are more strongly flavored than others. This is it's a darker and more strongly flavored vermouth than a lot of them are. It's going to give it a nice sort of burgundy rosy color. And I got the wrong bitters. I want the Australian bitters for the Ned Kelly connection again. Where's my Australian bitters? Down here somewhere. Oh, so many things. Where did I put it? Here somewhere. Wait, that's it. I was looking for the wrong bottle. I got the shapes of bottles. So this is that's not actually what I thought it was. But it isn't another Australian one. They call this an Australian superfood, lemon myrtle flavored, which is a native Australian thingy. This is the one I wanted. This is a more of a bitter one. Mr. Bitters. This is Melbourne made.
Right.
So, a couple little spritzes of, they call this Negroni bitters. So, do they say what's in it? Water.
Well, I don't want to say what's in it.
Orange, chamomile, and spices. So they're keeping their secrets.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Got it in my sexy stirring glass.
I saw your sexy stirring glass a little while ago, and I was going to comment on it, but then I didn't because you were commenting or I was watching a video. I'm not sure. I've been out of it for a while.
Yes, I'm actually using my 2 most recent pieces of glassware. They look flash. I got them from an outlet mall.
Yeah.
They look flash.
Well, that's where cool stuff is got.
Yeah. So remember, I was freezing I was chilling my glass. See how it's nice and frosty
I
now?
was actually going to say, I was just checking the time over there, and I was thinking, yes, we've done well here.
Yeah.
The glass has been chilled. I'm sure it has been. And in the two-way traffic that is the angry AZ discourse,
Yeah.
we've let a glass chill
Yeah.
to perfection. A bit
Two
of knowledge, a bit of commitment, and all nice,
looks nice, doesn't it?
doesn't it? What's it taste like?
A nice nose on it. Now, if I was being really full on, I'd do a fucking like lemon or orange peel and squit it, but I'm very rarely bothered to do that.
It's a school night. It's late. Just sometimes you just want the lady in the bourbon trim to give you the drink.
Oh, that is
Good.
good. That is
We're
good.
good.
Because Irish whiskey tends to be smoother than Scotch anyway. It doesn't have I mean, in the smoky profile of Scotch can be quite good, and that's usually the biggest difference between Irish and Scotch whiskies. The Scotch, because they actually smoke the stuff they put in it, and oh my word, that's good. Like, the dominant part of the flavor is the Irish whiskey, but it's just blended out with the vermouth and the bitters. The perfect one. Like, it's like 5 seconds after swallowing, it's like, ooh, there are still different tastes going down.
Nice.
Very good.
Nice.
There's because Lion Spider responding to us ragging on Trump that his supporters still love him, which is absolutely terrifying. And he is the most likely to. People think they're upsetting when they go Trump 2020. I go, no, I fully accept he's actually the most likely to win the next election.
Yep, that's right.
I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than pin my hopes on something that doesn't go through. And now, again, I don't know if you picked this up in the news, as the selection process for the Democratic challenger kicks in, it is now a 2-horse race.
Right.
Bernie Sanders, who had an initial unprecedented surge, and then in the fourth contest, which was in South Carolina, where Joe Biden was always expected to do well, he actually did even better than expected. Like, he fucking bolted in, which was funny because he'd been regarded as a joke and almost completely out of contention before that. And he bolted in. And then that was on Saturday, I think. And Tuesday was what they call Super Tuesday, a whole bunch of states doing it at the same time, including 2 of the biggest states, Texas and California, with the most delegates. And prior to South Carolina, the Bernie supporters were getting a rush of blood, and they're going, yeah, we're going to fucking shit it in all through Super Tuesday. And the establishment, after Biden had this huge surge in South Carolina, which in and of itself doesn't mean that much, all the other moderate, centrist, the conservative Democrats, the establishment Democrats, all dropped out. And so Biden was the only establishment candidate there. And Biden did really well on Super Tuesday. Sanders didn't do as well as his supporters had hoped. It's still a long way from over, but Biden possibly now has a level of momentum where establishment people are going, oh, thank fuck, people are voting for him. Okay, give him literally tens of millions of dollars for advertising. In fact, I think Mike Bloomberg, the gross little billionaire from New York, is virtually pledging $100 million to a Biden campaign to just buy non-stop ads, which will probably work. So Sanders supporters are feeling up against it at the moment. I mean, it's a very long way from over, but it is, interestingly, it's gone from, halfway through last year, 25 people had declared they were standing for the nomination, and it's down to 2 now. Last I saw, Elizabeth Warren hadn't. She was, the other progressive candidate. she's considerably more mainstream than Bernie Sanders. She kept saying this. I was actually supporting her ahead of Sanders, but she kept saying this dumb shit about, oh, no, I don't want people to be upset at me. Bernie Sanders is the one who says he's a socialist. I'm a capitalist. And it's like,
yeah, okay.
Oh,
Good
fuck you. You're playing too much to the fucking power base. And yeah, she hasn't officially pulled out, but it would be like super fucked if she didn't, because she's failed completely in every race she's been in, and she's just taking attention away from Sanders.
Yeah.
But even if she doesn't officially drop out, in practical terms, it's a two-horse race. It's Sanders and Biden. Biden's a terrible fucking candidate. I can't help feeling Trump will absolutely destroy him. The one upside is if they went head to head, I have no doubt Biden would basically threaten to straight up punch Trump, because he has actually done it before. So I think you'd end up on a debate stage with Biden straight up threatening to punch Trump, which would be hilarious. But we're looking at, no matter who gets in, the contest is now an old man slap fight. 75 plus year old white man fight.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I mean, shit. I'd be in that.
Yeah. I mean, Elizabeth Warren was so much better than any of the candidates apart from Bernie Sanders. In my personal dirty radical left commie opinion, it's like in terms of how good the candidates are, it's like Sanders, Warren, everyone else. The rest are just establishment stooges. And I had been supporting Warren over Sanders till she kept making these statements that were basically sucking up to the establishment and saying, oh, no, I'm not trying to, fucking destroy everything. I'm one of you. And it's like, no, we actually need someone who's going to destroy everything.
We actually need a reset button real fast.
Justin reminded me he's been working on, there's a caucus for Democrats abroad, and he is working on that in Australia. And the Democrats abroad created Democracy Beer, which is a fine contribution. That's a fine contribution. I like that.
Well done, Democrats abroad, creating Democracy Beer. Biden
would be so much better than Trump, but that goes without saying. I just worry Trump will absolutely.
The candidate bat would be better than Trump. Fuck. Shit, I'm pissing things out the enemy to be better than Trump.
Yeah, no. The residue that came out, they ripped out the catheter is better than Trump. But,
Oh, okay. And you've reminded me of that.
I know that was pretty callous of me. I accept.
No, it was catheter of you,
Yes.
and
a pain in the dick. That's what you are.
I've just been taking various different analgesics to. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give myself a couple of minutes and return to you.
All right.
Just give me that.
Okay, you come back in a couple of minutes. AIDS probably going to rejoin us. We've got half an hour. Like, now I can really show off my toilet paper. Now I've got the full screen. Maybe I'll go to poorer neighbors and toss out and be in the back of like a truck, like a parade, and just toss out rolls of toilet paper, because I'm a magnanimous god. What does Xerxes say in 300? I'm a generous god. Shouldn't really be comparing myself to Xerxes, quite honestly. Not the best. Not the best comparison. Oh, so we're going to talk about the Australian establishment, the fucking corruption that Scummo keeps trying to have a bloody. Morrison keeps trying to tell people that, oh no, there's no corruption to worry about, and there is obviously massive corruption. It's ridiculous. Justin, how do I think the Australian states, as in, is that like the Americans abroad states? I don't know. If I had to guess, I see. The thing is, I just think Biden's going to do really well from here on out, which is depressing as fuck. And I wonder who he's going to choose for his Veep, because there are so many possibilities. It could be one of the people who were running for a nomination. Oh God, it better not be Rat Boy Pete. He's so fucked. I'd actually said a while ago, when things were looking really grim for Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris had dropped out, if he made an announcement that he was going to have Kamala Harris as his running mate, she would be Veep, it would be all over. An enormous number of undecided and even aligned to Sanders women and black voters would just go wham. If Sanders wants to close the door, announce Kamala Harris as his running mate. It would so be all over at that point. I don't know if he will. Again, if he wants someone younger, but still, and again, someone not white, maybe he'd go back to Cory Booker, maybe Julian Castro. I don't know. Oh, Justin, Sanders won Dems abroad by landslide last time. Okay, well, I think he will again this time then. But I just really think, as depressing as I find it, I think Biden is going to do really well from here on out. I think Aidsy is back. Are you back, Aidsy? Are you waving at me?
Aidsy's so back.
All right, the man. Oops, that didn't do it.
Yeah, it didn't do it. That did it.
Sort of randomly
I'm
clicking.
so back.
You're back.
Yeah.
Guess who's
I was
back?
randomly clicking stuff myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hey, that's a euphemism for the age.
I did something to my mouse. It's a new U-Butte mouse, and it's got different buttons on it, and so I have to be careful on what I click. And I've either dropped it or stepped on it or something. And when one is ill, one can do these things. And all today, as I've been trying to make stuff go, it's like the thing is sitting off kilter, and I've been pressing the wrong buttons, and I'm getting all these screens coming up, and things are looking at me going, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
You're trying to look at YouTube. It's the easiest thing in the world. What's this going on? And I'm going, angry will be angry at me, but not as angry as at Trump. So you were going, Biden's going to get up, and Trump's going to stomp at home.
I'm really worried Trump will fucking destroy Biden. Biden's obviously a better person by any measurement and would enact better policies than Trump. But I don't like Biden because he's just the fucking establishment. And I just think Trump's going to crush him. But anyway, hey, look, you got a little rhyme. You get the rhyme from Phil Suter when I said you're back. You were doing the Eminem. Guess who's back? Back again. AG's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Now you have to rap the rest of it. So no.
AG's back. His head in his phones, looking like one of those kids. The Weekend, for example, but better looking, probably not just as better looking.
Duster, but I don't know.
Say again. What did you say?
To his reward. I'm half tempted to brain dust.
And a good reward.
Yeah, that's the same.
Well, we're here now.
Jail. Got wiped out. Yeah, he's gone.
I've done something bloody stupid to my hat,
Oh no!
and I've got to get this right. All right, now you go in there. Good, you're in there, and I have really done something bad to my electrics because they're all broken. And that's clearly not a place we want to be.
No,
but we shall continue to go forward.
Do you? Okay, actually, I just had a question because I was meant to bring you over a new laptop and maybe a new webcam as well. This webcam. Where is it? The one I was using, and I got another one.
You go.
Do you actually have a shortage of toilet paper, or was that jokes we were having before?
Well, I've only got one roll. I only have one roll.
Because I was going to come over and give you a laptop. Maybe I should bring a few rolls with me when I come over.
Do that. Do all of that.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember Taz from the YouTube thing. Tall, strapping young lad. I think when we met Taz, he was probably only about 16 or 17. He was in the Army Cadets. Tall, smooth-faced young chap with short, dark hair. Taz has come over and helped me make some cocktail videos on Saturday.
Oh, good man. Yeah. Good man. Good to see that he's
I got a couple of people lined up because I figured, besides it being more fun to make stuff with someone, and I could sort of theme stuff around the person I've got there, that would also set me apart from other cocktail channels, because almost all the cocktail channels are solo. Not all of them, but nearly all of them are solo things with one, usually a guy. I managed to find like one or maybe two cocktail channels where the presenter's a woman. But it's almost always one person doing the thing to camera. So that if I actually have someone with me and set it a bit apart and you have a little byplay happening. So I'm going to make an old-fashioned for Taz and show him the difference a garnish and bitters makes to an old-fashioned.
Yeah, right.
Because that is like literally like one of the, I suppose it's not the, if you call a screwdriver a cocktail, which is just vodka and orange juice, or a gin and tonic, which is just gin and tonic. If you call them cocktails, they're pretty simple. You have to fiddle around a little bit with an old fashioned, but it's only got one alcohol component. It's whiskey, and it's whiskey, a sweetener, and bitters, basically. That's it. So some people go, oh, you do this thing where you get a sugar cube or some superfine sugar, and you put the bitters in that, and you mash it up so it's like a paste, and then you put the gin. But then you always end up with some sugar grit, which some people like. I don't. I always use sugar syrup because it blends right in then.
There you go.
But some people actually like the sugar element. I do it with sugar syrup. But I'm going to, and as I was saying earlier, I almost never bother to garnish stuff I make at home. But particularly with an old-fashioned, you do it in the right glass. You get the bit of orange peel and squeeze the oils out, and then rub it around the glass. It actually completely changes the drink experience, because when you hold it up here, you're inhaling the orange oils. And as those who know their science will know, smell contributes as much as taste to how the sensation of consuming something. So putting that orange oil on the top and on the rim of the glass completely changes the taste of the drink.
Absolutely. Smell is, they reckon, 75% of taste.
Yeah, because they've shown that, like, if you block someone's nose and cover their eyes so they can't see and give them an onion to eat and tell them it's an apple, they think it's an apple because it's about
it's an apple.
A crisp onion is about the same consistency as a crisp apple. And you can't smell it and you don't know what it is. If someone tells you it's an apple, particularly you can even, you can't really, you do, okay, I keep saying half sentences. So you tell them it's an apple and block their nose and cover their eyes and they'll think it's an apple. Same deal. If you have a blindfold on them and you got a bit of apple for them to eat, and just as they go to bite it, squeeze a bit of onion under their nose, and they think you've given them an onion to eat, and they'll probably spit it out. In many cases, they'll go, "Gross, you're giving me onion to eat." So it's weird.
Unless you're a certain ex-prime minister of Australia.
Charlie loves a bruised fresh basil leaf in a gin and tonic. Yeah, that's pure class, Charlie. I like that. Again, yeah, leaves. Yeah,
it's pretty good, Charlie.
Basil is great. Mint is obviously in a lot of cocktails. You bruise some mint, or you actually muddle mint in the cocktail, but then you put some mint leaves on the top and bruise them a bit. So each time you take a drink, you're actually inhaling the herbaceousness. Rosemary is a good one, and often, particularly if it's dried rosemary, or at least a little bit dried, a popular thing to do is light it on fire and then blow it out so it's all smoky, and then put the glass upside down over the thing so the glass fills with the smoke, mix the drink over here, and then quickly turn the glass over and pour the cocktail in. And then when you drink the cocktail, you've got a little waft of the smoke, and with a properly balanced drink, that is really nice. So, and then I've seen there's these machines you can get now. They're smokers. They're little things. You put wood chips in them or a herb and set it on fire, and then the smoke. And it's got a little air pump in it, and you got a little hose at the other end, and you can pump the smoke through a drink. Or some of them will do a thing where they'll actually blow a bubble. I'm not sure what. It's obviously not soap because you're drinking it, so I'm not sure what it is. But there's something that will blow a bubble, so you'll get like a coupe glass like this, and the drink's in there, and then they do this thing with a bubble on top and pump the smoke in. So you get this big bubble on top of the glass, and it might not be smoke, like it might be liquid
mist.
Liquid nitrogen is probably a bit full on, but dry ice mist, which is really cold carbon dioxide. And because if you do it with dry ice mist, you blow the bubble up this big, and then it's in front, and then you just tap it, and because it's heavier than air, it just goes. If it's smoke, when you pop it, it'll waft up. But if it's dry ice vapor, it'll collapse down around the glass, which looks really cool. And I saw this thing's been advertised to me on Facebook, and I'm so fucking tempted to get it. It makes the little gel balls, like where you get the bubble tea.
Oh, yeah.
Any liquid. So, of course, the temptation is, do you mean also booze by any liquid? And you're not just talking about fruit juices and whatnot. Because it's possible that alcohol will degrade whatever the little gel, and it makes these tiny things. It's this thing, rather than making them one at a time, it's this little tray, and you sort of squeeze the thing, and it squeezes out like 40 of these little globes with liquid in them. And if I could do that with booze, that would be a fun thing for a cocktail, because you make the drink and then drop some of these little gel balls in there and get them in, and then when you bite them, little bursts of. Wouldn't even have.
I see where you're going with this. And it's working for you.
Yeah, wouldn't even
it's working for
you. The booze, like if you mixed a cocktail that was the booze and the bubbles were cordial or fruit juice, like something sweet, and then you go and then bite, and you get these little. You've got. I love the swirl of that whiskey, and then you just get these bursts of sweetness going off as well. I'm really fucking. The short version is I'm really tempted.
I'm
to get
getting it. Yeah.
Because they're not expensive either.
No. No. Bloody.
Oh my God, what's fallen off you?
Oh, I'm just doing the stretch out because I'm
Stretching?
going to have to. Well, we got. What is it? 15 minutes to bedtime. So there you go. I can run to home. I reckon I can. I'm just having a stretch out and hoping that things go down well.
Looking for something else on Facebook, and now I have to share this photo I just found. What am I doing? Is that the right thing? Yeah, my Chrome tab. I just have to share. Look at this picture. This person is they're not letting coronavirus get them. They're pretty serious. Pretty serious, those people. All right. Make Facebook go away now. Where is it? No, wait. Oh yeah, that thing. Remove. There we go. We're back.
There you go. We're back. Oh,
We're
except
back.
I'm all the way over here.
Yeah.
Hello. Normally I'd be up here, right, to say, no, Angry's head's not that big. Normally I'd be doing my duty as the AIDSy in this relationship. But today, no, you just can't do it. Angry's just got to have his own big old fucking head on his own. I'm just got to, man's got to step up, and he can. He has many times, except making me get off my deathbed to come into work today. Which I, of course, begged. Please let me come to work. I don't want to do nothing again. I'm going to die a little bit.
I found it. Sorry.
Go on.
Oh no! Stop that! Stop making noises. Terrible music. But look at this thing. I'll share this. Where are we? Can you see that?
I can.
Yeah, it's.
That's what it is.
Yeah, this. Yeah. Look, see, they're doing it for food on these things, so you can obviously do savory things. But you look at the machine. You sort of plug all these syringes in, and it makes those little balls. And
so, hang on. I don't understand. Have you got to sit there and push?
No, look.
They drop out.
Them into, I imagine, and they solidify. Thing, and you pump it in.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. So you squeeze it into whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
So you can make fake bloody what do they call it? Not calamari. Sorry?
Caviar.
Caviar. That's the one. Thank you.
That's what we're calling it. Yeah.
Fake caviar.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was the thing. Because the ad's been put at me a lot. I knew I'd find it, but I'm like super tempted to get one of those. Like I said, my primary thing would be like, ooh, can you do that with booze? But even if you couldn't do it with booze, just doing fruit juice, like $60, and then there's probably some stupid amount of shipping on it. But I don't know.
Or not, as the case may be.
But free shipping on all orders. Jesus, fucking tempted. I am fucking tempted. Because even if I couldn't do it with booze, you do it with either fruit juice or cordial, and have that in a really boozy cocktail that maybe needed something to calm it down, and so you drink booze and get a few of the little bubbles in your mouth, and bite down on them, and get little bursts of flavor. I'm so fucking tempted. I am.
And you're right. You can do it. You could do it either way, or you could put a sweet booze into a whiskey style booze, and
that's what I was thinking. Like or one of the fruit liqueurs I have.
Yep.
Something that's very sort of whiskey forward, and then balance it with a sweet fruit liqueur, and just like the sip. Like, for instance, that Ned Kelly was very whiskey. But if you put something sweet in it, it would be a completely different drink, and it'd be like drink, oh yeah, booze, and then bite, and just having little bursts of sweetness kick in. I reckon that'd be an awesome drink.
Yeah. Give it a fucking shot.
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
I'm proposing a throwback of remembering when I had lemons in my backyard as big as my head. I did actually pose the lemon tree in my old house that I moved out of about 3 years ago would occasionally grow extremely large lemons, and a couple
And
of them
they were fucking
big,
huge.
a big head, and some of them
Yeah.
were. I could cover my face with these fucking lemons, so it
Yeah.
looked like a street painting. It was
Well, when I first saw you do it, I thought, oh, it's a forced perspective thing, and then I came around and seen it and went, no, that's a fucking huge lemon, because frankly, it's got a huge head.
yeah, yeah.
I
Never shied away.
and
I have a stupidly
you
large.
look at a lemon like that and you go, ooh, there'd be radiation around these parts.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that particular sort of lemon has a really thick rind. Like, I'm not joking. The rind on some of those big ones was like this thick, which is like about 5 times thicker than a normal lemon's rind.
Yeah.
But yes. Oh, there's an interesting question. AT, in your many health complications, are any of them lung related?
Yes.
So are you at risk of COVID-19? Or like, would pneumonia
Well,
be a very bad thing for you is the question.
oh yeah. Yes, pneumonia is a very bad thing for me. The last time I had pneumonia was when I had my broken fucking ribs and my broken collarbone when I fell down the stairs.
Oh,
And
a while ago, yeah.
oh man, yeah. So I had these broken fucking bones, and they'd say, okay, now cough up everything. And I'm going, you have no idea how bad that is. And they said, no, cough it all up. And I'm going, oh. And it feels like you're getting punched from the inside of your,
Oh, you're getting stabbed. It's just like, ugh.
Eventually, I got up enough of the nastiness so that they could get their sample. And then just one night, cleared it. And I just went, okay, that's an unnatural amount of stuff to come out of anyone.
Yeah.
But I could breathe again, and that was new and different. But I've been told, oh, have you got lung problems? And are you asthmatic? And I'm like, I'm not. And they keep on going, oh, when you have your Ventolin, your lung capacity goes right up. I go, oh, yeah, right up. And then they said, are you a smoker? And I said, no, I used to be. And they went, that'll be it then.
That'll be it, yeah.
And because I ain't smoked for 32 years. And my entire family had decided that I was the guy out of the family who was never going to stop smoking. Everyone had thought that, there's no way I was going to stop smoking. And boss of the house came in and went, yep, no more drugs, no more smokes. Let's go. And boss of the house moved in one day, just rocked up with his stuff. And started putting his stuff around the place and going, oh, boss of the house, what are you doing? I'm moving in.
Yeah.
Good. And there was no discussion. It was just like, I'm moving in. I'm going, okay, as you do. And my house is cozy. And to have two of us in here what it was he had a long way to travel. And he went, no, I don't want to travel that far anymore. Fuck it, I'm just staying here. Good on you, man. But yeah, then he turned around and said, yep, no more smokes, no more drugs. Right, so where am I going to put this? I'm going to put this over here, and then I'm going to put this over here. I need to move your clothes. Just, okay. Anyway, so my folks have heard all this before. Sure enough, 18 months later, it's all real. And they're going, okay, here's the second coming. But yeah, I stopped smoking 5 years ago. And if I'd have known what giving up smoking does for your health, I would have done it 20 years ago. It feels so good to not be a smoker anymore. And as you can see, I'm vaping like crazy. And they don't let you vape in hospitals anymore.
No,
they've got a thing about it.
You're a pioneer.
Oh, it's a pioneer. And they were going, yeah, it doesn't hurt. And then somebody made up some shit and was going, oh no, there's questions about the safety of, no, there's no questions. Nope, there's no questions at all. Oh no, it's been said that. No, it's not been said. You've got to show. And so anyway,
In America, there were half a dozen deaths or whatever linked to it, and what it was linked to was they were vaping substandard fucking cannabis oil. There were some additives in it, but yeah, some people died. Even if it was very, it's like, do you know how many tobacco smokers died in that same time period? It's
in
like,
that
what?
same second,
People just fucked. But anyway, hey, it's
yeah,
almost time, and I did just want to throw in a couple things before we went.
do it.
That Charlie knows all the secrets. We started talking about lemons. He pointed out peeing on lemon trees grows bigger lemons. That
They
is,
do.
and tomatoes. The story goes it's good for
Didn't know that. Didn't know that.
I've heard that. And Bobo had the fucking killer idea: get that machine for make little booze balls on ice cream. How good would that be?
Oh
That is,
yeah.
see, that's tipping me right over the edge to buying the machine. Quite honestly.
Oh yeah. And you know what else? You get a liqueur style chocolate.
Yeah.
And do
Cow.
balls of that over ice cream, and if
Oh
you
my
want to warm the balls so they
yeah.
sit there in the there's so many
Oh,
things.
I
Yeah,
think I'm actually gonna have to get one of those. That's
you're probably looking like a thing, isn't it?
yeah, I am probably, and then I'll get it, and it'll be some shit, really crappy thing that doesn't actually work. But
But it was, you got to try it on, don't you? Got to
nothing
try it on.
gained.
Exactly.
To accumulate. Do you ever see those classic old Australian family movies with Chips Rafferty called Smiley? There was
I
this
did.
a kid played a character called Smiley, and he's like a Dennis the Menace type character who got into all sorts of trouble. There was at least 2 or 3 Smiley movies. I remember seeing them on Sunday afternoons, in that TV station we had in Bathurst, 689. Really cheap Sunday afternoon movies, Australian family movies from the 1950s, where Chips Rafferty is the local copper. And this kid who completely vanished after making a couple of these movies, just, never made himself known for the rest of his life. Interesting. But the Smiley movies were actually pretty good. But that's where I got the thing on Smiley was he had these real Dennis the Menace sort of scams, and one of them was because we was at a sheep shearing station, and of course all the shearers were mad gamblers, and they're playing 2-up, and when people lost and they're all shits, the person running the game, they go, "Come on, fellas, don't be scared. You got to speculate to accumulate." So Smiley would always convince his friends to do horrifically dangerous things by saying, "You've got to speculate to accumulate."
Yeah. Yeah, know the feeling. Come, friends.
Yeah.
Let us do this venture, of
Yeah.
which 'tis almost guaranteed a success.
Yeah.
Almost.
So, that just popped into my head. Fucking Smiley, weird bit of Australian history.
Yeah.
But that's how brains work, really. You
Sounds
remember,
like the name of a cocktail to me,
you got to speculate to accumulate.
or a smiley. Um,
Oh God, I'd have to look up the plots of the old movies to work.
well, you
Because
got to speculate to accumulate. You got various different plots, and you got your smiley suite of cocktails.
yeah, it would have to be. I just feel like I'm going to have to get some more Australian things because there are Australian whiskies, Australian gins, Australian fruit liqueurs, Australian bitter aperitifs. I've got a couple of Australian things, maybe even just rum, because of course we've got quite famous rums from Australia.
Yes, we do.
I think I've got to get more Australian things, of course, because they're made in such small batches. From little distilleries, they're quite expensive. Like this, this is literally like I pointed out. Probably my big mistake was buying that bottle of Cinzano, which is fuck. But Cinzano is so cheap. This is literally 4 times more expensive than Cinzano. And often when someone's going, oh, more expensive one, I go, is it 4 times better? Yes, it is.
Dear. Is it 4 times better?
This is a good sipper. This is like a good fireside sipper.
Wow.
Because it's just a fortified wine, and it's got lots of botanicals in it, so it's got a really interesting flavor. That I could just do. That's just like, have it in an elegant little glass and just sip, like as a substitute for port, which I like sipping port. Port's heavier than that, so that's the other one I found, because it kept showing up in cocktail recipes, and I saw it for a pretty good price. One called Pimento Dram, or some people call it Allspice Dram, because it's 2 different names for the same berry that's like, from the Caribbean. Some people call it the pimento and some people call it allspice. But it's always used in tiki drinks. And just by itself, it's this really it's got this balance of sweetness and cinnamon, and like, so one of the things, you take little sips and you go, oh, I'm having a little taste adventure. There you go. I'm close this out with another nice rhymer. You've got to risk it to get the biscuit. I like that. But I think on that point, I'm going to go to bed. Bid all you fine people farewell, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks very much for letting me be on your device and making me come back to work, which is good.
Yes, and you soldiered through 2 whole hours, which you weren't sure.
We weren't sure if that was going to happen at all. Like, we're doing this tonight? Yeah, man. I want to. And all used to be a bit much on bail.
She gave me in the middle of the day, and kind of had to remind him what day of the week it was, and I probably need to sleep. So it's 6 hours away. That's why I'm mentioning it now. So
it's like, because when you call, when you messaged in, it's going, are we doing the thing? I'm going, oh yeah, tomorrow. Are we doing the thing tomorrow? And then I'm looking at the days on the phone. I'm going, fuck, it's today. It's tonight. And I'm looking at the time, going, fuck, it's in like, oh shit, I've got to get some sleep. And I did get some. I got 2-3 hours.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Which is more than I had in
after the day bark of Tuesday. That's why I thought I'll contact you like at lunchtime and just say, what's happening.
I gotta. I'm sure you'll say it, but you got to imagine boss of the house getting increasingly pissed.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Increasingly unamused, and finally, so he's gone. Yeah, shit, fucking, and he was on the phone going, ambulance. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I really would. Like when you were telling me details, I was going, ambulance. Boss of the house coming. He'll decide. No, he's going to say ambulance too.
And he did. And then, I don't know if you guys had chats together, but about the same time you were going, yeah, man, maybe ambulance is the time. He was going, yeah, you're going. Going, all right, okay.
It was the right call. That's why
two independent. It was just what had to happen.
2 independent judges came to the same conclusion that needed to happen.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
And
so good night.
It is so very good to see you, good people. Thank you very much for allowing me to be on your device. We'll try and be better next time.
We'll see. We'll see how easy it goes. But you all look after yourself too. I think I don't even need to tell everyone who watches us is sensible enough to not fucking panic. You know what? A lot of us are going to get sick, and the overwhelming majority of us will be fine. But which is not to understate the fact that the scary predictions of the World Health Organization come true, the global death toll will be in the tens, if not hundreds of millions. But they will all be baby boomers, so that's okay.
and me.
Now they will look after you.
But
Sure.
yeah,
But
fucking,
normally,
I've been dodging it for a while now, and there had to come a time.
yeah, normally when we talk about these sorts of illnesses, the risk factors are the very old, the very young, and people with serious complicating health issues already. This one, they're just going, fuck, kids aren't suffering. Like they probably got it and they're displaying really mild symptoms and they're all recovering. And they're going, oh, that's a new one, because normally
Yeah.
kids don't have a very well developed immune system and they're as at risk. Like even like babies, toddlers are recovering, and they're normally a very high risk group for this type of illness. So it's just the oldies and anyone, particularly if you have. That's what I was asking. Hey, do you have a lung complication in all your complications? But yeah, you've got a fucking whole battery of people expect to see you every other day anyway. So
Yeah, pretty much.
they'll look after you.
Pretty much.
All right,
I'm sure they will.
Find people later. Look after yourselves and say bye for now.